Check, check. What's up, guys? We got about 10 minutes here until market opens. I am going to get myself situated before we start and take a look at some charts. Not a whole lot to go after off the open. There's an hourly inside bar I'm keeping an eye on, but we'll look at that in a minute. So just give me a few here. I will be right back. Alrighty, I think we're ready to go. I'm going to browse around on my other screen here and take a look at what's happening in oil and gold. See if there's anything else worth taking a look at. Damn, natural gas is crazy. It is a ripper this morning. 10%. Platinum had a decent day. Oil is kind of all over the place here. Back-to-back outside days. Outside day, inside day, outside, outside. It's kind of chopping around sideways here. We do have a new month coming up. So we do have this big hammer month on NQ. What is this? Weekly high? I need to mark this. Weekly. Yeah, nothing much to report here. We'll just kind of keep an eye on the open and see what NQ does on this 60-minute inside bar here. Clean up these lines. Mostly traded overnight. I stayed up for New York, but eventually just crashed. I was so tired. And I dug myself a huge, huge hole in this Blue Sky account. I'll show you here. I was about 50 bucks from blowing the account. After I was up, this is realized I was up 211. I think I topped out at about $500 pretty quick. You know, I took an initial loss and then made it back, and then got myself into a really bad spot. Had to climb out. So I'm just happy I didn't blow this account. Top step today, I was minus $25 in two XFAs. So red 50 in Top Step funded and plus 200 in a Blue Sky evaluation account. So nothing, nothing special. Just glad I recovered that account. I think they charge like 60 bucks, maybe 70 bucks for a reset. So I actually had pulled their website up. I was just waiting in a position for the position to get blown and for me to have to reset. And at the last second, it looked like it was going to rip higher. And so I hit the reverse button. It did. And I managed to uh, pull like 700 out of that trade, which gave me a fighting chance. And then, I stopped being an idiot, basically. Anybody have earnings after? Let's see. Let's take a look at what's happening. Brazil Treasury 1702 trading partners. So tomorrow we have some news at 8:30 a.m. 10 a.m. Jolts job openings. I think there's news the rest of the week. Yeah, pretty much every morning here, something is on the table. So one of the rare times I just walked away pretty much flat, not really, I didn't really take any trades in the XFAs after I had clawed back in the Blue Sky evaluation account. I did like this morning. The trade that I was watching most was this 12-hour inside bar up. So break this high here, right? Break this high, target up here. We got it, but it was really messy, and I was scaled into a fairly large position, especially heading into New York Open, and it just ended up being very difficult to hold. Here's a 15-minute chart. You can see there was a lot of where was the open here? There's a lot of the anytime I see outside bars on the first, in the 15 or 30 minute, this ended up being a 60-minute outside bar. It's just really tricky trading. There was a great setup this 30-minute right here. This inside bar that broke bear also triggered a 4-hour. So if I mark this, let's see how much time do we have here. So if I mark this 30-minute inside bar down, if we look on a 4-hour, you'll see right here, this 4-hour was a failed two up, two down reversal, and also a 12-hour outside bar. And I just did I hesitated on the trade. I was pretty just drained mentally, and I did post in our funded chat channel that I was looking at the 4 hour 2-2 to trigger the 12, or, to target the 12 hour outside, which we got for potential outside day. I don't think it quite hit outside day, but that's when I knew I just needed to, kind of call it a day, go sleep. Should have been an easy win, and I was just questioning my ability to make good decisions after a long, long night. I'd been trading for like 14 hours or something, which is crazy. But I'm happy I just walked, I left it, I walked away. Small red, not a big deal. Fine with that. Didn't blow the blue sky account, so win in my book. Kenneth, I'm very glad I was too. I just didn't want to have to spend, and I paid, I think it was 109 for this account, no activation fee, and that's great pricing if you can pass on the first attempt. But I was super disappointed in myself for almost blowing it, and managed to recover. So I can't ask for more than that. Obviously, caught 2 grand plus worth of green trades to erase 2 grand of red trades. So yes, great win, but catching a nice trade like that only to end up at break even is, pretty frustrating. Not gonna lie. It's just like, oh yeah, we got a great win, but it doesn't even matter. Here's the open. Let me pop up NQ here and see what's doing. We are breaking to the downside. Order filled. I'll take a little small position here. That 60-minute trigger. Oops, this needs to be 100 tick. Stop right here. I just go back to 1,000 tick. I want 100 tick. Order filled. Bit of an aggressive entry, but I like the 60-minute setup to the downside. So it either works or it doesn't. Maybe I can catch a nice, just a quick, easy $200 trade, and then switch to this blue sky account that I got to work on. Wanted to add again, but can't always get what we want. How's my realized P&L minus 25? Did this not reset for the day? Yeah, something's weird. This is the first trade I've taken. I've not realized any loss, so I don't know what's going on here with Top Step, but see if we get some follow through on the 60-minute inside down. I see you, AK. I'll update you in a minute. What's up, Penguin? You already messed up today. Yeah, I did. I refreshed my browser twice. Gonna add again and just keep a really tight stop here. So I want little more room. Come on, NQ. Give me a nice little solid win here. Easy peasy. Want to see a new low a day, though. I'll check back in with you guys in a sec. Let me just pay attention to what's going on here. So 60-minute inside bar down is in force. That's the trade that I'm taking here. It is a 4-hour inside bar with, we're opening really right in the middle of the previous 4-hour candle. So could be a bit of a pain in the ass, but willing to take a shot here off the open. See if we get a push down. Kind of hanging out at the 60 trigger. Actually, I want a little, I'm looking at the charts here. I need a little bit of a wider, I need at least like probably a little bit more, but I'm okay with where it's at. We're right at the 60 trigger, so if this pushes up, it could still re-trigger. If I stop out and it re-triggers, I'll just jump back in. So failed two down now on the 15, 30, 60. So we got two downs, but green. Want to see those get back to red. I need to mark my daily open here. If I stop out, that's the next thing I need to do. I need to know where we're at relative to the open. So stopped out. This is not right though. This is messing me up. And it's impacting my daily loss limit drawdown. But first things first, let's daily open is 19,478.25. So now we're looking at potential outside bar to the upside. If this stays above the daily open, I will flip long, but we'll see. How'd you mess up Penguin already? Today, or you mean since the open? We've been open 8 minutes. And my account balance is like $800 more. What is going on here? Both of these accounts, if we look at yesterday's stream, we're at about 1700. Somehow I've got more money in this account. That's slightly concerning. Not sure what's going on there. Super weird. Have not seen that. Man, I feel like the time to get in long was above this daily open and I kind of missed it. See if we get a pullback and then maybe I can get an entry. Went 15-minute outside bar.
Order filled.
Really not a fan of the 4 hour inside bar. I keep telling myself not to mess with them. It usually is just a choppy mess, but it was worth taking it to the downside. The upside here, I'm debating. I mean, I just entered, I got a small micro. It's not going to kill me. I feel like it was a late entry because I didn't have the daily open marked off the jump, which is something I need to do like as soon as things open. Doo doo doo. Yeah, this is weird. I don't know what's going on with this account balance. I requested a payout that they deducted the money from the account, but now doing some quick math, I think this is the account I pulled 1,000 from. So I'm not sure what's going on. I did open a ticket with support because my payout seemed to be stuck in limbo. I requested two at the same time. I got one uh, showed up in my account on Friday in Wise, and then I transferred to my bank. So I got that today. But the other payout I requested at exact same time is just has not been like approved on multiple levels from the new dash. So I'm wondering if that has something to do with it. Didn't really impact my trading though. I'm just gonna do what I always do, and sure we'll get it figured out.
Order filled. Order filled.
60-minute back and forth, so I flipped. Got a decent entry right at the 60 trigger. So this might just be a little corrective activity before we resume to the downside. So like I really want to see this push to the downside. That's the trade I took off the open. But if we are failing to push down, we've got potential failed two downs on the 30 and 60. So I'll take a shot at that as long as we're over the daily open. But as soon as we go back under the daily open, those candles go red and the 60 is back in force for shorts. If we don't get follow through here, I probably won't flip long again. Like either this short works or that's it for me on this trade. I'll flip bias, but I'm not gonna just keep flip flopping and like clicking the reverse button and not really having a clear direction. Just not. If I start doing that, that's a red flag for me. That's a trigger. I'll catch up on chat in a second. I want to keep an eye on this trade and see if we get some follow through to the downside. See if there's an opportunity to add like another micro or two, honestly. We got tilt flipped short, 58%. Want to see a new low a day. If we're going to get this moving to the downside, I definitely want to see a new low here soon. I think I got to go back to my 3 micro starter during overnight. It's just a little difficult to. I mean, you can make money with 1, 2 micros, but I like to make more if I can. AK kept trying to find the reversal. Took 2 tries, looking at the 15 minute to trigger the 30 an hour. Down over 670. You were down P&L wise 670. Took one last try, took the hit at 30, and the 30 hit the hour, just kept running, took off around 1:30 or 11:30. Looked like it was going to reverse in the 15. When was that? Is this earlier today? All in ended plus 75. I mean, better to be, small green or break even than big red. Like however you made it happen, always better to, if you take a bad trade or two and then you end up back break even or in the green, like sometimes for me that's like means break time. That's why I really stopped trading today is because I clawed out of a $2,000 hole. That it took a lot of work. It's a lot of mental energy. It was exhausting. I was up all night. Um, there's new low. Not quite. Trying. Yeah, it's just exhausting, and for me that means like, all right, take a break, dude. Like, yeah, I want to end every day green, but it's not realistic, right? Some days are going to be break even, some days are going to be red. The trick is to not end in a big, deep deep in the red. Penguin entered on gold and MNQ since the open. Would you over leverage? You don't see me trading like huge size, man. You just scale into winners. When things start to work, add a little micro here and there, little pullbacks. But I'm trading pretty small size, and I've still pulled 9,200 this month from trading. So you don't need to swing for the fences constantly. I mean, it's nice when you hit those home runs for sure. But consistency first, you can always scale up. Right? If what I'm doing is working with one or two micros or three micros, I can always double it up. New low. See if we get any follow through here. Don't want to add here into new lows, but I do want a bigger position. But I might just have to kind of roll with what I got. We'll see. Pretty choppy right now. We've got a 15-minute flip in 10 minutes, just over 10 minutes. 15 and 30-minute flips. About 20 minutes into Globex here. Anyone know how to hide the speakers and audience sections? Just taking up space. There's little arrows on the right that you click. You can just close them. King Penguin was trading so crazy he may have dislocated his shoulder. AK was a rough day. Yeah, I mean, it was a rough day for me too. So, mentally exhausting, exactly. When we get to that mentally exhausting part and you end up in the green or break even, like, just walk away. Best thing you can do is walk away, right? Like, that was it. The win for the day was getting back to break even or, slightly in the green. Gonna break even my stop here. Let this trade play out. Um. Oh, you tried to enter on gold and did MNQ. Oh, somebody try that password he just shared. 9UIBYH0. I think we got OnlyFans access. Username King Penguin. So stress free trade, right? The worst that can happen is I stop out break even. If we get more selling to the downside and hit the hourly target, this will end up being good for about 50 points, which is kind of like my, take profit at 40, 50 points. Maybe I'll take one off. It's my profit target usually during overnight. We don't often get, like 80, 100 plus points like we do in New York. But dip buyers showing up here. We'll see if we can shoo them away. Seven minutes for the 30-minute flip. Little 10-point bounce from new lows. Just want to see this keep grinding lower. I'd rather see it just waterfall off a cliff, but not that kind of price action right now. Definitely wondering what the hell is going on with this other account. I'm gonna log into my Top Step dashboard here real quick. I mean, I hope I just ended up with another like seven, eight, $900. I don't know how that would happen, but that would be awesome. Looks like the dashboard is down. Page not loading. Okadoke. Still got 35 minutes in this hourly candle to make something happen, so just kind of holding strong. Red on the day, the 12 hour, the 4 hour, the 60, the 30, the 15, under the daily open. So at this point, I'm just looking for shorts to play out till something changes. Last night was really annoying to trade. It was, shorts were working, but then no follow through, and then V shape back up, and it was just really tricky until the markets, reversed and buyers showed up in force. There was a really nice 4 hour inside bar break last night. That's where I was able to recover, and it was just a good reminder to wait for the market to start moving. If the market isn't moving, don't fight it. The only time we can make money is when the market is moving in one direction or another. The trick is to wait for those opportunities to show up. Part of what happened too, I got FOMO. I went to go watch some Netflix and like take a break, step away, and as soon as I did, within like 15 minutes maybe, there was a short that I would have taken that worked really well, and then I found myself in this kind of position of chasing that, looking for more, and that was kind of it. That was the move, right? There was no more to be had. See if we can get any movement back down. Abraham, how many points do I during overnight trading, I'm okay with like 30 to 50 points. During New York, usually 80 to 100. So during overnight, usually I'll risk like maybe 10, 15 points, occasionally 20, but it's kind of rare. Looking for, you know, 1 to 2 risk return or more, 1 to 3. During New York, risking 20 to 30 for kind of like 80 to 100 or more. But that's why I usually stick to the bigger time frames, right? That's why I'm trading the 60-minute time frame right now. Target on the 60, right? Here's the 60, here's the trigger, here's the target down here, right? So this is 51 points. That would be a decent, that would be a solid trade for me. I'd be okay with that. At least taking one off and then seeing if there's any more. See if we flip this monthly and quarterly, this green line underneath the target here. That's monthly, quarterly continuity. So see if we flip those. But do need some sellers to step in here at some point. I want to see this just slow grind up, but it's looking like that's what it wants to do currently. Got a 5 minute hammer candle breaking to the upside. See what happens when we get up here to VBOP. But 15-minute candle back to green. So setting up a reversal. Right on the 15, right? A 3, a 2 down. Was green, trying to be green. So we could see we got a flip here in 7 seconds. If we break this high, I'd be targeting the top of this range.
Order filled.
Stopped out, breaking the 322 up. I'm interested in trying to long again. Back to the 60 trigger, but we got 30 minutes left in the 60-minute candle. I'm gonna keep an eye on this for a second. Let me flip over to the 15-minute here.
Order filled.
Big fan of 322s, so
Order filled.
trying to flip the daily continuity green. So like as long as I keep my losses small, I'm okay like switching teams, right? Whoever is showing up, our bears showing up, excuse me, our bulls showing up. I'm not gonna hold a position, have it move against me and be big red, big red position doing the hope and pray thing. No, I'm gonna stop out break even or take us like that was a break even stop out. My first trade was a small loss. And then I'm going to go with what the charts are telling me. Charts are telling me we're going to push a new high a day. So, and now I'm getting back to basically flat on the day. See if this keeps going and triggers the 30-minute up. But for me, that's the name of the game is staying nimble, being willing to, adjust biases, acknowledge that I'm wrong or that, it's not even that I'm wrong, it's just the market's not moving in that direction any longer. Definitely want to see new highs here. I don't want to see this kind of choppy V-shaped price action we got going on. Waiting for one side to kind of take control, either buyers or sellers. And right now it looks like buyers want to, make new high day. So we'll see if they can do that. If not, on the 60-minute flip, we've got a potential rev strat to the upside. So this could be an early entry for more bullish momentum. Again, really small risk, right? Only 4.25 points here. So on 3 micros, minimal risk, looking for, 20, 30, 40 points. I'll catch up with you guys in chat in a second. I'm just hyper focused on managing this trade, which is like my priority. Want to see a new high a day, ideally. Staying above this daily open would be great. Little corrective activity and then a push higher is what I'm hoping for. I'm gonna break even this stop too, just so there's no stress. All right, if I'm wrong, no big deal. If I'm right, maybe we get some follow through, new high day. Potential early entry for the 60-minute setup. 23.5 minutes until we get a new 60 flip. Right. I'll check in with you guys. Oh my goodness, we got King Penguin here dropping songs left and right. Yeah, and XLS. Let's stack some wins. Couple base hits. Call it a day. Right? Call it a night. Trying. Doing my best. Need market to cooperate, right? All I can do is look at the charts and take trades based on what I see. And you just hope that when you're right, you catch, a nice move in that direction. And if you're wrong, you stop out break even or for, tiny loss. That's it. You just be stubborn and keep fighting. Might have been a good little place to add here holding this daily open, but I'm fine with the, position sizing I have. I'm not, swinging for the fences here. I only need like 20 points for a $200 day. So, if I get my 30, 40, be a nice little win times two funded accounts. I'll take it. So 30-minute inside bar, 21 and a half minutes until the flip. 60-minute flip, 30-minute flip, 15-minute flip. Really thought this was going to be the push to new high a day, but little hesitation here. Ain't no thing, right? Can't lose. My goodness. Come on, give me a big green candle here. We got a 5-minute inside bar. Trying to break the low, though. Awfully close to stopping out of this.
Order filled.
5-minute inside bar, bear break. Hmm. Let's see. Wait for the 60 or wait for the 30 inside bar. See how far this pulls back. Yep. Five. Here's the so what I was watching on the 5-minute. This inside bar here, I definitely wanted this to break the high. Broke the low, hit its target. Looks like sellers are back in the game. These V shapes on NQ have been super annoying lately. Like this, this move up here and then V shape down, V shape up, V shape down. Really, really difficult to trade. There's no trend, right? No like higher low, higher low. Things just get very frustrating. So 60 back and forth. Actually, I wish I had been kind of paying attention here. Definitely snoozed on that, on reshorting under the 60-minute trigger and under the daily open. That's what I did the first time. I just didn't. I was just a little spaced out here. Too hyper focused on rooting for buyers. Do we get another V shape back up here? If so, I'm gonna hop off because um, it's a 4-hour inside bar, and this is the kind of garbage that we get when there's a 4-hour inside bar. If you're a range trader, you can, trade these ranges like this, right? Once we get a few more touches here, long the bottom, short the top, and just trade this whatever it is, 50 points, 40 points. But that's not really my area of expertise. It's something I want to work on. I see plenty of other people do it, and they're like, "Oh, I love trading this range. It's just back and forth, long the bottom, short the top." And you can see we're down at the lows now, heading back up towards the highs. It just gets on my nerves sometimes. So, I'll just wait for the 4 hour inside bar to close, and then I'll take a trade. 10 p.m. or so. I'll just go chill out for the next 3 hours. Abraham morning session was nothing special, minus $50 in between two XFAs and plus 200 in an eval. But I did dig my, if you weren't here earlier, I did dig myself out of a pretty significant hole here on this Blue Sky account, which I'm not very proud of, but I'm happy that I got back to breaky. I was like within $50 of blowing this account, and then I caught $2,000 trade and got back to break even. So once I got back to break even here, that was it. I was like done. I hadn't traded my XFAs. I took one or two attempts on the XFAs this morning. Small win, small loss, whatever, insignificant, and then I decided to call it a day. So pretty happy with myself that I was able to just walk away. Normally I'm shooting for at least those $200 days on Top Step, and sometimes the market's being tricky or just the 12-hour setup worked. It just was a slow ass grind up this morning. It just didn't. I wanted to see it break the 12-hour trigger. There was a 12-hour inside hammer. Right, this right here, this 12-hour inside inside hammer, right? When we broke this high, I was expecting fireworks over 540, and it did like one of these. It broke, and then it just was like this until the open, and then it pulled back, and it was really choppy. So, like, if they just don't go right away, I start to lose patience. So I did make an attempt at this trade. I was green. I ended up stopping out either small profit or break even. And then I was like, I just don't like the way the market's moving. Which for me is really hard to do. Just say, all right, this isn't my kind of day. Let me just call it quits. Really, really difficult for me to do. So happy with the fact that I was able to do that this morning and not dig myself into a big hole. I already had to dig myself out of a hole overnight. I didn't want to dig a new hole and then be stressed out today, especially after being up for like 12, 14, 16 hours overnight. Would have made my life miserable. So, how about you? Did you take any trades? Yeah, and really, really difficult for me to just to walk away. And sometimes that's the best thing we can do, right? The best thing is making money. The second best thing is not losing money. I mean, really, not losing money is job number one, and then making money is job number two. But you know, if we can make money, that's great. If not, keep what we have. And I can't lose money if I'm not sitting here at the screen clicking buttons. So sometimes that's a win for the day, right? Like the win is not losing money. And I think I have to get better at recognizing that. Like not every day is going to be a big green day or even a green day, but I'd rather be a break even day or, a tiny red day than hitting my, 350 or $500 daily loss limit. So hourly setup is still in force, but just not going anywhere. Like even if I took this short right here, like on this 60-minute retrigger, I probably would have just held and stopped out, or maybe I would be almost stopped out because I want to see more follow through and it's just not happening. So, this might be one of those opens where you just have to take the quick wins. Like shorting here and taking the 20 points. Like sometimes that's all we're going to get. We can't, holding doesn't help us. We just end up stopping out or, the trades just don't really get going. 60 flip in 10 minutes. Going to keep an eye on that because I will long this. We're trying to set up a 60-minute hammer. Here's the 60, a rev strat, inside bar, a 2 down green. Maybe this ends up as a hammer candle if we keep pushing up and then we break the high and then I'll look to target these highs. Other than that, that's about all I'm looking at right this second for potential trades. We got a 15-minute, 30-minute inside bar, but this V shape kind of shit, not my style yet. So we'll see what happens on the flip, and then maybe take one more trade. If that doesn't work, I'm just gonna surrender to the 4 hour inside bar. Recognize that as long as the 4 hour is inside, it's probably gonna be choppy. Can you still make money? Yes. But am I going to get my 40, 50 points? Probably not. Abraham, right now I'm focused on learning and studying the strat. When you're showing, what you're showing is the real side of trading, something most people don't reveal. Keep it up. Thank you. Yeah, I don't think there are enough people. Like, I enjoy live trading. Live trading keeps me out of trouble, right? I don't want to make stupid decisions and, have to explain why I'm in a degenerate trade. So for me, it's explaining what I'm looking at, talking the trade out, and then thinking about does that make sense, right? Is what I'm saying logical? Would I want to, if somebody's learning the strat, is this how I would want to explain things? And if it is and it makes sense, then that's a good trade to be in. And if it's not and I can't justify taking the trade, then I shouldn't be in the trade. And if I'm not live streaming, sometimes I just take stupid trades. But I think one of the biggest questions people have is like, where do you put your stop, or how do you enter, how do you manage the trade once you're in it? And so that's what I try and share is like just the way that I do things after being a trader for 5 years. I always add the side note. I don't claim to be the best trader. I'm not going to be slinging huge size. Again, I've taken $9,200 this month. I took 5,500 in January. I got no pay in February and March, but I am on the path to being pretty consistent. Not blowing up accounts like I was. Last year was my first year trading props and futures, And I did a lot of trying to get rich quick and gamble. And now I just don't do that. I just keep it small, aim for base hits, and I think that's what most traders should shoot for initially, right? I can always size up. If I'm consistent, all I have to do is just add another contract or two to increase the gains. But the biggest thing is keeping these accounts alive, not blowing up, and just stacking wins. So I'm glad you enjoy it. I enjoy doing this. 6 minutes till we get a flip. Let me check YouTube real quick. Jay Chill, what's up, buddy? Nate tried out the 100 tick today. Worked very similar to 1 minute. Not bad at all. Cool. Jay Chill says down to 440 and up. Not sure when that was, but you may have been super close there. We got down to 455 and back up. Definitely stuck in a range. So if you're a range trader, you're probably feasting right now. Not what I do best, but it's definitely a skill that I want to add to my toolbox. Because if there isn't a strat setup, right, but we're stuck in a range and I can make 20 points, here and there, scalping, then I don't have to just sit here and stare at charts, right? I can stack some small wins. But just kind of ping ponging right now. So we'll see what happens on this flip, and then if we don't break this 60 to the upside, or the 15-30-60, the 15-30 inside bars, and the 60-minute rev strat, probably gonna go play with my dog. She's still a pup. She's got a ton of energy, loves to play ball, so I try and run her into the ground so she's not. She does this thing where she like brings her slobbery ball toy, like it's a rubber, it's a Kong, and she'll follow me around the house and just smash this slimy thing into the back of my legs. like like hey dude, it's time to play with me, bump bump, and I'm like, Zoe, get away with that slimy shit. So if I can run her during the day, then she's less, uppity at night. And the weather here in South Jersey is pretty nice today. I think we were in the 80s, high 70s, 80s. So try and get some sun on my skin. It's been a while since I've been at my house in Florida, where I get, I don't look like a sick kind of patient, right? Just taking like 4 or 5 dog walks a day. I get a nice tan, and I take Zoe to the beach pretty often. But here I've been kind of cooped up inside. I'm starting to look like, I have an illness, which nobody wants to see. 2.5 minutes. Slow grind back to the highs here. So let's readjust. This is going to be the 60 high, right? That's our rev strat entry. And then if we zoom into the 30, that's going to be our 30-minute inside bar up. So we'll mark those levels going into the flip and be prepared. And see if they run this up. If not, I think I'm kind of giving up on shorts at the moment, but we will see. Things can change quickly in the world of trading. That's what happened. They deleted that payout request. Top step dashboard loaded. They got rid of the one that I. That's kind of annoying. Could work to my advantage. Instead of taking $1,000 payout, I could take 1330, but I'm only going to leave myself with 1300. So maybe I will see how today goes. Maybe I can get a nice win and then take a bigger payout. It's kind of nice to have stagger. Here's the flip. Let's focus on that first.
Order filled.
Definitely thought the 15 was just going to break there. Better to wait, but it's okay. I'll take a small loss if this pulls back under the daily open. It's a good example of what we say: no trigger, no trade, or anticipation is not actionable. Really need you should wait for setups to trigger, but I get ants in my pants and I don't want to miss anything. Sometimes it costs me, but that's also why I'll enter with a very small starter position, because if I'm wrong, it's going to cost me like $15 here. See if this can hold the daily open. That would be ideal. I came very close to just adding right there. When I'm very close to my to stopping out,
Order filled.
um, that's what I was looking for. Very close to stopping out. It's small risk to add to that position. Right, I would have had a much better average entry price and very little risk added to that. So we did get this 30 and the 60 trigger to the upside. We'll see if we get any follow through.
Order filled.
Come on, big green Hulk candle. So 60-minute rev strat in force.
Order filled.
This is it. This is the trade. I'm gonna be my last trade, so gonna try and nail it. If it doesn't work, doesn't work. But I don't see myself taking another trade for another 3 hours or so. So see if I can make this one count. There we go. That's one way to do it. Give it all back. Little pullback is fine. If we stay above the 60 trigger, I'm not sweating this. I don't like to see, I don't want to see this pullback like we did. A little pullback and then push higher would be much better, but back to the 60 trigger, but not a 20 point pullback. Not super great. There we go. That's better. Run this shit up. I break even my stop. Come on, Bulls. Full send. Let's see, 524. I kind of want this up here. Peel one off right at the weekly open if we get up there. And if not, I'll just be frustrated and move on with life. Right at 19.5, psych. 52 minutes and change for the 60-minute to hit target, so we got a lot of time. Got big green 15, 30, 60 candles, 4 hours green, 12 hours green, day is green. Just want follow through here. Come on. You can do it. Mm, 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 mm. Yes. Minute flip in 4 minutes, so keeping an eye on that. Push up some gaps on this 100 tick chart. Tag me out of one. Give me a very comfortable position to be in. Is that too much to ask for? Bit of excitement and then pause. Pause is better than pullback, but kind of want to see this keep going here. Minute 37 until the 15-minute flip. The anticipation is killing me. Not gonna lie. Need to try and mentally detach from the outcome of this trade. Penguin was long 461, and I put a take profit of 478 because you were doing something, and I come back and we're mooning. Yeah, that happens, buddy. Trying to dilly dallying here. Want to see this like get going. Another push up. Want to see like this time in sales just blasted with green. Come on. Here's the 15-minute flip. So we got an inside bar. Definitely want to see that go two up sooner than later. It's gonna take one off, but I'm just trying to be really patient here and let this trade play out. But I do have 20 points on this.
Order filled.
I'm just gonna take one off here because we've been reversing at these, we get 20 points and change, and then things give it back. So there we go. That's what I wanted to see. See if we can get up to this weekly open. Peel another one off, and then just leave some runners. Up 25 points on this.
Order filled.
Out another one at about 30 points. See what happens when we get to the weekly open here. Hopefully we rip right through that. I don't know what this 60 is. Oh, that's 60 high. Let me get rid of this. So definitely an area to keep an eye out for a rejection, which we're getting currently. But risk free, back into the green, small green on the day. And I think I'm just gonna leave these. So that was a nice solid base hit. Hopefully I get some more out of this. We'll see. If I stop out, at least I got a fresh start on the day, right? Small win in one account. Well, both accounts, I guess, but nothing crazy. Green. It's all that matters. Wow. I wanted to exit some of that position at the weekly open. I keep an eye on the daily, weekly, monthly, quarterly opens for either a push through or we get to these areas after a move up or down and then reject. I think I'm gonna just close this. I don't know, man. Do I just leave this and some pretty aggressive selling there? I think I'm just gonna leave this, see what happens. It was a 30-point pullback in a hurry. Went outside fiver. So here's the 5, outside bar. 15 is a failed 2 up. So where I'm looking for reversals, a failed 2 up or 2 down. Check, check. Don't know what happened there.
Order filled.
I'm just closing this. I'm going to take the small win here and go take a break. I don't like the failed 2 up on the 15. Definitely wanted to see this continue pushing higher. If it goes without me, that's fine. But we're just consolidating here and potentially for another push down. So at least I got a couple of I got half of that position up near the highs, and so I'm up $100 on the day. Gives me a little bit of a buffer for the next trade that I take, which will probably be on the 4-hour flip. But did not want to see, a little bit of a pullback here would be fine, but not all the way, not 30 points. So I'll take what I can get. I'll wait for the 4-hour flip. I'll make another attempt. I do like longs still. Got this 4-hour inside bar, right? And the high is currently at the weekly open. So if this closes inside bar, we push back towards the highs. We flip weekly continuity. We've got full time frame continuity, right, to the upside. Currently the week is red, but the quarter, the month, the day are green. And so if we break this high, we'll target up here. We'll flip the week. There's a red line. And maybe continue pushing higher. If not, and we look like we're going to break the low, we could potentially flip the down here, not this target line. Let me get rid of this. This green line down here is the monthly and quarterly open. So we could break this bear and then flip continuity back to the downside. So either way this breaks, I'm interested in taking this either long or short on the inside bar. And I'm just going to set some alerts like near the high here, near the low, and keep an eye on it. But took a couple swings, a few misses, whatever. Mostly flat on the day. But always better than being red. think that's it for me, guys. Yeah, I'll be back later. If you guys want to chat, I'll be in funded chat. I'll post any updates on this 4 hour setup or any other trades that I take. And if you're gonna sit here and trade smart, be safe, use stops, manage risk. Don't be a dumb dumb. That's about it for me. Have a good one, guys. Appreciate you all being here. Thanks, Nerd Man.